After a 12-year-old smashed a car windshield, he was soon being called a hero. Welcome to Viral Stories, secrets, facts, and strange stories from around the world. If you find yourself amazed at what some of our fellow humans and animals can do, this is the place for you. This is a channel you're going to want to tell your friends about. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified of our new uploads. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy Viral Stories. It's August 2019, and 12-year-old Ben Theriot is shopping with his mom in his hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma. As the pair walk through a parking lot, though, a nearby car catches Ben's eye. So he runs to the vehicle with an object in his hand, using the tool to shatter the vehicle's windshield. But while the boy may appear as though he's in the middle of a crime, he'll later be dubbed a hero for his quick thinking. Yet, while to the untrained eye Ben may seem engaging in needless acts of vandalism, that is not the full story. And thanks to his swift actions, the preteen will soon become famous throughout Oklahoma and beyond, as news channels tell the tale of what happened to him on that hot August day. Yet Ben had never anticipated having to spring into action on that shopping trip. Talking to Tulsa's Fox 23 News in August 2019, he said, "I didn't think any of this was going to happen. I thought I was just going to go to Ross and just go buy some shoes or something." So what exactly had motivated the middle schooler to start smashing through the windshield of a car in a baking parking lot? And why was a nearby store worker inspired to join in the melee with a clothing rail? Well, the story begins in Tulsa, the city where Ben was born and raised. And on August 12th, Ben was enjoying some time with his mother, Nikki Fields, who works at the city's Red River Saloon. Ben is one of 4 siblings in the family, in fact, and all the brothers were due to return to school in a matter of days' time. Consequently, Ben and Nikki were making preparations for the 12-year-old's imminent entry into the 7th grade. And after the mom and her second eldest son had parked up at Tulsa's Highland Plaza shopping center, they subsequently made a beeline for the mall's Ross Dress for Less outlet, as Ben needed new footwear. On the short walk across to the store, though, Nikki was alerted to a worrying sound coming from a parked car. And the alarming noise prompted her into action too. "I just got on the phone and I yelled to Ben to find anything in my car," Nikki later explained to Oklahoma City-based NBC affiliate KFOR. So Ben went back to his mom's vehicle to pick the right tool for the task at hand. As it happens, the 12-year-old plumped for a ratchet strap, an item more typically used for holding down large items in cars, towing trailers, and securing materials at construction sites. Then, after Ben had returned with the ratchet strap, he mulled over his options, and ultimately his first target was one of the car's smaller passenger side windows. You see, the preteen didn't intend to use the strap for its usual purpose. Instead, he planned to smash the vehicle's glass. And Ben later recalled that, at that time, he hadn't put much thought into his scheme. He'd merely followed his instincts. His mother, on the other hand, would later admit to being apprehensive about the situation, saying to KWTV in August 2019, "I was scared because I don't want to be in trouble." Nikki added of her son, however, he just jumped right into action and didn't even hesitate. Unfortunately, though, Ben's initial plan to break the side window wasn't working. And in a subsequent interview with Fox 23 News' Sarah Hart, the 12-year-old explained what he'd been trying to achieve. "You were trying to take the strap and actually hit the passenger side?" Hart asked. "Yeah, I hit it about like right in the center, but it just cracked the window a little bit," Ben revealed. The boy also revealed, "I started hitting the side window. It didn't bust, but it bent it pretty badly." In an apparent attempt to ascertain Ben's intentions at that moment, Hart went on to inquire, "So your thoughts are then maybe I can get in from the front?" That's right. After Ben had failed to enter the car via the passenger window, he decided to attack one of the windshields of the vehicle instead. "I thought it would be a lot easier to break the front windshield because it's bigger," Ben explained to Hart. And fortunately, this change in tactic would prove to be rather more successful. Hart then pressed Ben for more details of how he'd gone to work. "And so, are you just like throwing the ratchet strap, or what are you doing?" the reporter asked. "I swung it over my shoulder and hit the windshield right in the center. And then I hit it a couple more times, and then I climbed on the windshield," Ben recalled. At around this time, though, a worker from one of the shopping center stores came out to offer her assistance. And with her, the employee had a section of clothing rack, just in case it could be used to help Ben, who was desperately trying to smash his way through the car's glass. In fact, Ben ultimately gave up using the ratchet strap to break into the vehicle. Instead, as he later told Hart, he stomped on the windshield and it cracked pretty badly again. The boy added, "Then the lady, the store worker, went and grabbed that hanger thing, and then I put the hook into the windshield and pulled it out, and then I unlocked the car." But what had Ben and his mom heard and seen that had provoked them into interrupting their shopping trip? And why had Ben felt compelled to damage another person's vehicle, an act that to an unwitting bystander may have looked like a crime in progress? Well, Nikki and her son had noticed that there was a toddler alone in the car, and he appeared to be in distress too. Ben later told KFOR, "My mom heard a baby crying, and taking the intense heat of the day and the vehicle's closed windows into account, the pair therefore had real fears for the child's safety. So when Nikki made a phone call, the 12-year-old embarked on his valiant attempt to break through the car's windshield. Owing to his ability to spring right into action, in fact, Ben may just have saved a life. After he was able to unlock the car, you see, he and his mom were finally able to reach the hysterical child, and thankfully the toddler was seemingly unharmed despite his harrowing ordeal. Yes, while the youngster was apparently red in the face and shaken by his experience, he wasn't in any medical danger. There was no doubting, however, that he had a lucky escape. According to Fox 23 News, the heat index on that day in Tulsa was an astonishing 116 degrees Fahrenheit. And sadly, too many kids have passed away as a result of being trapped in stiflingly hot cars. Data from San Jose State University's Department of Meteorology and Climate Science records that 792 children in the U.S. have died in this way from 1998 to 2018, a total that heartbreakingly averages out at 38 such deaths every year. Yet, regardless of the public awareness campaigns surrounding the dangers of leaving youngsters in cars, deaths still do occur. In July 2019, for example, Phoenix and Luna Rodriguez passed away in New York City after their father apparently accidentally locked him in his vehicle for 8 hours. The one-year-old twins reportedly had body core temperatures of 108 degrees Fahrenheit when they were discovered. And in August 2019, a Garland, Texas man allegedly forgot to drop his 9-month-old daughter off at daycare. As a result, the child was in the back of a sweltering car for at least 7 hours until her father began to vacuum his vehicle at a local car wash. Horrifyingly, the dad is then said to have realized what he claims to have been his mistake. Fortunately, several states, including Oklahoma, have enacted laws to help prevent such tragedies. The Sooner State's Forget-Me-Not Vehicle Safety Act was adopted in 2008, and the legislation decrees that kids under 7 years old cannot be alone in a car if the conditions including, but not limited to, extreme weather, inadequate ventilation, or hazardous or malfunctioning components within the vehicle present a risk to the health or safety of the unattended child. Furthermore, 21 states have introduced so-called Good Samaritan regulations that permit a concerned passerby to initiate a rescue attempt if an unattended child in a car looks to be in peril. Owing to such laws, then, Ben was well within his rights to break into the vehicle in the Tulsa parking lot. And Tulsa Police Department's officer Jean Pierce confirmed as much too. In August 2019, she told CBS affiliate KOTV, within minutes that child could have passed out and became ill from a heat injury. Time was of the essence in that situation. We'd rather have a broken windshield than a child death. Any individual wouldn't be in trouble with us in that situation because they saved the life of that child. After that, the child's mother was ultimately located inside a nearby store. And Ben would go on to recall how the mom hadn't appeared particularly upset upon finding out that her son had been rescued. She didn't cry or nothing. She just asked for her baby back, and the police said no. The 12-year-old revealed in an August 2019 interview with Tulsa World. The mom of the child was subsequently handed a fine of $250 under the Forget-Me-Not Vehicle Safety Act, as the boy was under 7 years old at the time. According to Pierce, this marked the first occasion on which the woman had contravened the statewide law. As the mom hadn't been previously picked up for similar misdemeanors then, the authorities decided not to apprehend her on charges of neglect. The toddler was therefore left with his parent, although the local Department of Human Services are reported to be looking into the child's care. But even if the incident had just been the result of a simple misunderstanding, that didn't stop people from passing judgment on social media. And some of the reactions to the story were scathing. After Nikki posted about her son and her son's rescue attempt on Facebook, one user commented, "Poor baby, some people shouldn't have kids." Ben, on the other hand, has been hailed for his willingness to help save the child, not least by his own mom. "I'm just very proud of Ben. I'm glad he knew what to do," Nikki told Fox 23 News. In her Facebook post, she even went so far as to label the preteen a hero. And Nikki wasn't the only one to recognize Ben's part in the rescue, as Safe Kids Tulsa area would go on to honor the youngster with a Badge of Courage certificate. The organization, a local offshoot of the International Safe Kids Worldwide, seeks to provide guidance and information to help stop children from being injured. Presenting Ben with his award, Safe Kids Tulsa area coordinator Beth Washington said to the 12-year-old, "On behalf of Safe Kids Worldwide and Safe Kids Tulsa, we would like to present you with this badge of courage." And Washington was also keen to emphasize that kids should never be alone in cars, even for just a quick dash into the store. Speaking to Fox 23 News, Washington has warned that in the case of the Tulsa child, just half an hour in the hot vehicle could have led to tragedy. Safe Kids Worldwide has claimed too that even winding down a window may not help in any similar case, as this will have little effect on the internal temperature of a car. And Washington paid tribute to Ben when talking to the news station. "This year so far, we've lost 34 children nationwide after they were left in cars," she said. "Fortunately in Oklahoma, we haven't lost any, and thanks to Ben. He for sure saved one of those children who could have been a statistic." Ben himself, meanwhile, has been rather modest about the praise he's received. Nevertheless, during a conversation with Fox 23 News' Mariah Ellis, he did say that knowing he'd saved the toddler's life had made him proud. And when asked if he would leap into action again if needed, the boy claimed that he would. But even though Ben's story has naturally brought him attention from both local and national media, he'd never intended to seek out such recognition. He added to Fox 23 News, "I never thought that the rescue attempt was going to happen at all. I don't know, it all just happened." Still, that hasn't stopped owners from lauding Ben on social media. Responding to a KWTV Facebook post about the story, one person commented, "Kudos and praise to the 12-year-old who has more sense and compassion than an adult mother." Another individual seemingly addressed Ben, writing, "Awesome job. Glad you saved that baby." And one word in particular continued to crop up in the comments section of the KWTV post. "You're my hero," one woman said to the 12-year-old. Another echoed that sentiment by writing, "This is a great young man. He's a hero." They weren't the only Facebook users to bestow that honor upon Ben either. But as Ben himself has claimed, he hadn't been set out to be applauded by strangers. Instead, as Ellis claimed in her Fox 23 News segment, the boy believed that his daring rescue mission was really just about doing the right thing. And no one can doubt that Ben achieved exactly that under the circumstances.